Is Dennis Hof really ready for the world to learn what the Nevada Legal Brothel Association thought about him in 2002? Let's find out.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a Bunny Ranch Insider News Alert. I'm your host, Alexandra, aka Monica Foster. Now, as of January 8th, 2016, Nevada Legal Brothel owner Dennis Hof has made the announcement that he's making a bid for the Nevada State Senate seat, a Senate seat which is currently occupied by Senator Greg Brower. Now, I'm sure that Dennis Hof thinks that what he's doing is an excellent idea. However, is Dennis Hof really ready for the mainstream media to tell the public the cold, hard truth of exactly who he really is? I'm not so sure about that, considering what I learned from Jennifer O'Kane, owner of the Nevada Legal Brothel, the Calico Club, a woman who I took the time to interview mid-December of 2015. Now, shortly after I met with Jennifer O'Kane, I was leaked an incredibly interesting 21-page letter, which was sent to Dennis Hof back in 2002. Let me read to you just a tidbit of that letter, and I'll read that entire letter in its entirety in the next Bunny Ranch Insider News Alert. Here we go.
This leaked letter is dated December 16th, 2002. Dear Dennis, reason for this letter. This letter results from requests from several sources. First, you and I agreed to communicate in a straightforward manner. Second, Sam Evans has requested that I communicate feedback I have received related to the luau, your birthday parties, and moonlight operations in general from various sources. Sam requested that I be very complete and direct in my description of any possible problems. Finally, other members of the association have expressed great concern over your recent super high media exposure, which over the last 10 days or so has included appearances or programs on national TV or radio almost every day. Political contribution, phone ads. As mentioned above, the majority of the owners were not impressed with your backing out of your $5,000 political contribution. Prior to the commencement of the last meeting, a majority of owners asked me not to allow you to come to this meeting. I refused because you had already been invited and for reasons of unity stated earlier. You had asked to be removed from the charitable and political funding list because you felt you had been slammed by George Flint in a Ray Hager article in the RGJ. George was quoted as saying that he was embarrassed by your Yellow Pages ad. Most people believed that your frustration with George was simply an excuse because you wanted to benefit from everyone else's contributions while not making one of your own. All for you and nothing for the group. Some people suggested that you weren't doing as well as you let on at Kitty's and the Moonlight, and that you simply didn't have the money. I was disappointed in your overall attitude and your inability to separate your distaste for George from the rest of the industry. I had gone to tremendous amount of time and effort to prepare a budget, communicate to everyone, set up separate checking accounts, apply for an employee ID number, collect funds, make follow-up collection calls, deposit checks, write checks to politicians, write letters for the Eli train, reconcile banks, talk to George and the other owners about candidates, and file thank you letters. And for what purpose? Other than the fact that it needed to be done for the benefit of all, the entire reason for the separate checking account and for me to do the work was for you. It was to prove that none of the charitable and political contributions would benefit George. This was done entirely so you could be a participant in the group, and you threw it all away with a lame excuse to save $5,000. The truth was that the whole problem with the Yellow Page advertising arose because of an article about a Bunny Ranch mother-daughter team in a national magazine. It was a problem of you being too high profile, and we were having to deal with it, including the Lyon County DA, politicians at the state level, Alan Lichtenstein, and the PUC. Ray Hager's article was essentially to say that the PUC decided it did not have jurisdiction and would not hear the complaint. The issue of your ads pushing the envelope was a side issue. And the truth is that your ads were the biggest, only full page, most colorful, splashiest, and most explicit in the industry. Yours were the only ads to go beyond graphical artwork, to include the names and photos of real girls, and to go to the additional distance of identifying them as porn stars. Your ads bragged about all the media coverage at the Bunny Ranch. For your neighbors sensitive to the existence of a brothel next door, an explicit ad like that is like rubbing salt into a wound.
Trust me when I say the truth of Dennis Hof is out there.